Okay, dude. I'm gonna give you a little lesson on the flying ant here. This is a basic flying ant. Okay. Keep in mind, the dubbing balls, they're not going to float as good as what you think. So you need to basically incorporate some sort of extra flotation unless you want to sink these things. So anyway, I'm going to start out. I got black thread. It's uni thread. It's 8/0 thread. That's typically what I use. I don't like to go bigger than that. I've got some sparkle dubbing. This is Peacock Ice Dub. I've got some black, fur dub. This is called Czech Nymph dub. It's just any kind of, it's rabbit fur is what it amounts to. I've got, my wing, which is basically going to be poly yarn. I was calling it dubbing in the video yesterday, I noticed. But it's actually poly yarn is what it is. I've got some black dyed elk hair, and I've got a hackle. Like I said, I'm out of black hackle, but I'm using brown. So anyway, so on this one, I'm going to start out with, this is an Orvis straight eye size 16 hook. You can tie these things any size you want. 16 is a pretty good size though, so I'm going to start with size 16, and I'm going to start my thread on the front of the hook and then just wrap all the way to the back. Okay, and you can either break that thread off or cut it off, one of the two. It's up to you. Cut it off, whatever. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Peacock dub and a little bit of fur dub, and I'm going to blend them together. And basically, to blend them together, all you do is just take and just, you mix the two in your hand, okay? I've actually got a little coffee grinder that I, have blended some dubbings, but I'll tell you what, I don't even like it, man, because the coffee grinder does it a little bit too much. And in this, what it does, if you do it like this and just, do it in your fingers, you get a little bit of a more sophisticated blend. So I'm going to take a little bit of that, pull it off, okay? And I'm going to wind it onto the thread, okay? All right, so if you take and you wind that onto the thread, just wind it on. You can wind it on a little bit at a time. Man, I'm getting shit all over my damn laptop, okay? Wind it on, and you can come up maybe a little bit, about halfway, but you'll notice that the Peacock in there gives it a little bit of a shine, okay? You can wind across that as many times as you want. The little bit of black thread is not going to hurt if you go inside that, go across that dubbing a couple of times. It's not going to matter at all. Okay. This is not rocket science. Okay. So basically what you do is come back, and what you end up with is a little bit of a dubbing ball. It looks like the back of an ant body, okay, on that thing. Actually, I'm gonna do this, in a very basic mode. I was gonna put a little bit of deer hair on there, but I'm not going to. I was gonna put a little bit of deer hair across the back just to basically give it a little bit of a, we'll say, more flotation, but I'm not gonna do that now. Okay, this poly dubbing I've got, yesterday I was using white, today I'm using gray. So, like I said, it doesn't really matter. All you want to do is just lay that across the hook, okay? All right, and tie it in just like that, okay? Basically, you're going to go X-wraps, okay, to tie this onto the hook, okay? And then you're going to pull one wing back, pull the other wing back, okay? All right, and you end up with two wings, basically, that are coming back off the fly, like off the back of the fly. You can trim out any kind of little excess that you've got there. All right, and basically you've got, two wings. Basically, if you take a look at that, I think you can see all this. I'm gonna have to look at the video when I'm done, but you got two distinct wings coming off the back. Okay, I'm gonna use my brown hackle. Okay. And to be honest with you, black hackle's probably what you should use for this fly. But to be honest with you, I'm not convinced that, if you put a little bit of different color in some of these flies, that it doesn't, it doesn't help them. So anyway, I'm going to take, and I'm just going to wrap the hackle around, okay, just like you normally would, okay. Puts a couple of legs on there, Okay, wrap my hackle off. Okay, break that part of it off. Okay, and then I'm gonna come to the front of the hook. Okay, I'm gonna trim any of those wild hairs off of that hackle that I got, and then I'm gonna put just the slightest little dubbing ball on the front. Okay, and it can go right up to the eye of the hook. Okay, all right, and basically what you're doing is putting a little bit of an ant body, and believe me, a lot goes a long way, dude. Okay, and then I'll just take my whip finisher. Okay, and whip finish an end on there. I can't see shit, man. I tell you what, this is hard doing these videos because I normally tie with a little bit of a background in front of me with my laptop out there. I can't do that. Okay, take your wings. Okay, go back over the back of the hook. Okay, and what you end up with is a little flying ant pattern size 16. Okay, there's the top view. There's the bottom view. Okay, for this. And then ultimately, it's like, if you want, you can basically, kind of pull the hackle feathers up if you want. If you want, you can even clip the bottom, okay, so that it floats, a little more close to the surface, okay? And then you end up with, you're still showing some legs there, okay? But the fly will float a little bit closer to the bottom. But you can actually see that this looks definitely like a flying ant. So anyway, hope this video is cool. We'll see. I'm going to test it here in a second.